Afternoon. Great to see everyone here. So just gonna be waiting a bit. We're about to start. Wow, I think this is my first live session in a while. Okay, so Tina, I can see you. So glad that you are with us. We're expecting more people to join in. I can see Olu Isaac, I can see Ade, I can see SEO20. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So if you're just joining this live session, we're doing something pretty fantastic. We are having a certified and licensed immigration attorney who is going to be speaking to us on everything you need to know about immigration to the US. It's so amazing. So please go and invite your friends, send a message that, hey, Rosemond is going live with the law offices of Tina Oba and we're about to start in a bit, okay? So we are live. Thank you so much for joining in. Feel free to wave in the comments. I can see you. Thank you so much for joining in. I can see Olu Isaac, I can see Ade, I can see Shegun Karim. You're welcome. All right, so it's so good to see everyone. Before we start the major session today, I'm sure you'll be asking like, Rosemond, like, why are you here, right? But I can tell you that this is the most amazing place you can be at this particular point in time. Why? Because whatever information you are going to be getting here, legit, like people pay a lot for this information you're about to get. So if you're here, make sure that you are here till the end. There is a special offer at the end of this live session. I can see Juliet in the room. Hi Juliet, like my facial muscles are already getting tired from smiling a lot, but yes, you're welcome. It's so good. Thank you, Isaac. It's such a pleasure. I'm sure everybody has been like, oh, why did Rosemond disappear too? We've been doing big things, just we have just been coded, right? Our guest is here, like she's ready for us, right? So before we start, please invite your friends. Tell your friends, share you want to jackpa. Come and hear information, no, right? Come and hear information. Come and hear. All right. I see Mr. Chukwunoso Oba in the room. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Okay. So very short. We have 1 hour to do this. So very quickly, I'm just going to be introducing myself briefly and why I'm here at this point in time. My name is Rosemond Phil Uthihiwa, and I am a multitude of gifts, but I'll just, for the purposes of this event, I'm a corporate and commercial attorney. I'm a legal practitioner. That's what it means in layman terms. I love as much as possible to engage. I enjoy delivering value, high profile content to viewers, especially those who are looking forward to improving themselves in career and of course, just becoming better versions of themselves, right? So my Instagram handle, as you already know, is Rosemond Phil. So very quickly, I'm going to be introducing our guest, and she is none other but a certified licensed immigration attorney. I have known this particular person for, you won't believe, I have been for almost, in fact, more than 8 years. And very funnily enough, we went to the same law school together. And she has done incredibly well for herself. After call to bar, she realized that, you know what, I needed to do something better. I needed to improve and of course increase, of course, my professional capacity. And so she relocated to the United States, and of course you hear her journey. I'm not the one that's going to tell you her journey, right? So I can see that a lot of us are in the room, so we're just waiting for her to request to join the room. I can also invite her as well because she's already in the room already. So this promises to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing us. Hi Simadex, you're welcome. So please shoot me if you have questions. You are free to ask at the end of this session. So you can always ask your questions, and I'm sure you have questions like, oh, now I'm ready, exactly what I'm doing. I want to know what the steps and what the processes are. Like I said, it's not from my mouth that you will hear, right? So yes, I can see your request, but you need to send the request again because I can't see it, Tina. So you have to request again. I just invited you now. All right. So yes, good evening, everyone. If you're just joining in, you're welcome to an information session with none other than the law offices of Tina Oba, where we will be hosting our wonderful corporate commercial attorney and immigration lawyer, who is going to be speaking to us on everything you need to know about jackpine to the abroad. No, not jackpine to the abroad. Actually, immigration to the US. They are different things, right? Okay, so she's going to be joining us in a bit, and I'm super, super excited. Hi, Ayabami. It's good to see you. Chronic, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you happen to be here, just know that you are in the right place. Yes, I can see a lot of people joining in. Okay, so join in, join in, join in, join in, join in. If you have friends, please invite them, invite them, invite them. All right, invite them, invite them, invite them to come in. Send the request. I think it's saying that you can't join, so try as much as possible to connect again. All right, please. Okay, 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 okay. All right, all right, all right. So good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome to this live session. You are welcome once again. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So today is going to be fun. It promises to be very, very engaging. Promises to be insightful. Promises to be everything that you actually need to know. So I want you to pen down your questions. A lot of you are thinking of, oh, okay, so I have plans to be able. Yes, I can see you. I can see you. Go. I'm already accepted. So just acknowledge my request. Acknowledge my request, please. I can see you already. I can see you already. Okay, so if you have questions, please make sure that you are here. Make sure that you do this. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Rachel, thank you for joining in. Okay, so it says you are not able to join in, and I don't know why. So this is going to be, I hope it doesn't prove to be a bit of a challenge, Tina. So try as much as possible to join in again. I'm getting the request from my end that it says you are unable to join. So maybe you join in with another account. Okay. All right. Finally. Yes, 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 yes. Our guest is here. I can see her trying to, Yes. Hi, finally. It's so good to see you, Tina. It's such an amazing, amazing time to see you. I am so excited. I don't know. I'm the one that is, yeah, the one that is going to be giving us value, but I'm the one that is excited. Anyways, I've done a brief introduction of myself, right? But I think I will leave you to do the honors. Rachel, so you're welcome. I am Rachel, so you're welcome. So it's so good. Can you hear me? Let's confirm if you can hear me right now. Okay, so currently, where are you actually reporting, or where are you joining in from? I know you are in the US, but where in the US, and what time is it over there?
It's currently 10:07 here, and I'm joining from Los Angeles, California. Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. It's so good to have you here. Like seriously, like when I can imagine when you were thinking about it, I'm like, me, I was telling you, like this information that you're giving these people that are on this live, like this is what people pay a lot for, but you're going to be sharing so much insight. So let's go right to it. All right. So yes, I know that of course we were once colleagues, but now you are practicing, you are fully licensed to practice law in the United States. You've been called to the New York bar, and you hold a special license as an immigration attorney, and you've been able to build your experience and your competence towards helping a lot of people who are trying to immigrate to the United States or are having challenges in getting their green card and all. So please, could you just do a very, very short introduction of yourself and how you found yourself at this particular practice position at this point in time?
Okay, so I graduated from law school, I believe, in 2014, Nigerian law school, and then I came to the US to have my master's degree. I
Okay.
had a master's in law, and then you can practice in the US even with your foreign degree, so you have to take the bar right here in the US. So after my master's, I took the
Mm-hmm.
bar, and then I passed the bar. And then I decided to focus my practice. I decided to start my own practice, and I decided to focus on immigration. And that's because I've seen the struggles that applicants and other immigrants go through just to
Mm.
achieve legal status in the US. The struggle is real.
I can tell you, yeah.
So that, I decided to go into immigration to help other people come in like I did, get settled the way that I did, and just live the life that they dream of or always desired.
Mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
yeah.
I love how you said basically what you are doing now was born out of a personal experience. So it's not that you were trying to be opportunity. You actually went through the struggle of having to move from Nigeria to the United States as a legal practitioner. And right now you've been able to not only be fully settled, obtain your green card, you are also a practicing lawyer and you have a license to actually practice law in the United States. Come on, girl, you got it. And like, I am so super what's the word, so proud, and I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much. So let's go straight to it. I'm sure everyone that's currently on this live is asking, okay, oh, you have been shouting immigration to the US. Oh yeah, what is it? Tell us, how does it work? So what are some of the ways? So basically, if I want to actually, relocate, what are the options available, and how can I actually get or kick off the process? Because I know there are so many routes. I've heard people say, oh, the only way you can actually immigrate or you can actually move is, first of all, you have to go and do your master's. So everybody knows that doing your master's, of course, is one of the options. But I know that there are other options that a lot of people don't even know that they can even take advantage of. So can you share with us?
Okay, so my discussion today will be like divided into three segments. Number one, I'm going to be talking about different visa categories that individuals, people can take advantage of to come to the US. Also going to be talking about settling in the US. By that I mean, how do you obtain a green card? And then I'm also going to be talking about employment opportunities. And then lastly, I will just give like a word of encouragement or advice, or just provide some guide on how you can do it, how I do this, and why you can also do it. So we're going to get right into it. The first category of visa I'll talk about is what most of us already know, B1, B2. I'll start with B1. B1 is usually for people who want to come to the US to associate, sign some
Sorry, sorry, I didn't get the last part. Because of our viewers, a lot of people may be struggling. So can you repeat the last thing you said, the first category?
Okay, so the first category is B1, B2. So B1 is a business visa, B2
B1,
is
B2.
B2. Yes. B1 is a business visa, B2 is a tourist visa, right? You can also use it for other things, but B1 is
Okay.
really business. So I'll talk about business. If you want to come to the US on business, you have a client to consult with, you want to settle you have other business deals to do, B1 visa for you. And now let's come to B2, which most of
Mm,
us know about. It's usually for tourists, for visiting friends and family, and really for also for medical. If you want to come to the US for medical, then
okay.
B2 is the visa to go for. Now, this is the deal. The US and the consulate in Nigeria is currently not issuing B1s and B2s. It's giving on a
Okay.
very limited basis, extremely limited, and
Okay.
they're ascribing that to COVID, the COVID situation and all that. So it's really
Of
difficult at this time.
course.
B1, B2, but you can get a B2 if you have an emergency situation. Emergency here, like health reasons and any other emergency situation that you might have, you might be able to get a B2 visa. So let's say you have a family member, not you, but God forbid, someone has a family member who is seriously ill and needs urgent medical attention and then you can get a B2 visa despite the fact that they are not giving. All you just need to do
Okay.
is actually need that the doctor's report, the doctor describing the condition. First thing you need is the doctor describing the condition. The person needs to go to the US to seek treatment. The second thing you need to do is to contact a hospital here in the US that has agreed to treat this condition and they provided an estimated cost for treatment. And then the last thing you need to do is
Okay.
to show proof of funds. So once you have all these three, you'll be able to get B2 based on emergency. But naturally, like regularly, the regular is quite easy right now. I'm going to be talking about another visa category that you can readily get, but B1, B2 is quite limited. So the next visa I'll talk about is the O visa. O visa is for people with extraordinary abilities in sports, in sciences, in education, in arts, in movies, like in television space and all. Meaning that you must have done and it has a national or international experience. What means that, let's say, Sinach, for example, she's known all over the world.
Okay.
Genevieve is is in the movie industry. She's known. So if you know something, I mean, these are people that we know. There
Okay.
are other people who have done something that we don't really know them because they are not necessarily in the entertainment space or they are not really in our faces all the time. Yeah. But they've done a lot of things that they've received awards for. You can take advantage of all, but for all these, a US employer or agent will have to apply for you. I'm coming to
Oh, I
another visa
see.
where you will not need a US company or agent to apply for you. But for this particular type of visa, the O visa, a US company or agent, if you have an extraordinary ability, you're good, you're nationally and internationally recognized, you can take advantage of it.
Recognized.
Contact a company, maybe tell them what you do, and they'll I mean, if they want to sponsor you, they will sponsor you. The other visa I'll talk about is H1B. H1B is an employment visa, right? But it's for people in specialty occupations like law, like architecture, like accountants, doctors. But you have to be a like a specialist in some field to be able to take H1B.
So, Tina, so that's like a professional visa,
Yes,
right? So the H1 is
yes,
a professional visa.
yes, yes. But this
Okay, so
visa,
just for clarity's sake, so that they can know, yeah.
yes, it's professional and you need to specialize in a particular area, right? But this visa also requires that a US company files for you. So you
Okay.
can't petition yourself. You have to have at least 12 years experience. Now, this is the deal. I advise people, a lot of, as in, you can go into any field you want, but a lot of people, especially those in IT right now, I know a lot of Nigerians who are getting jobs in the US through
Yeah.
H1 because they are into IT. There are other fields you can do, but I can speak basically of what I know. So there are IT courses you can take, and I mean, you get your certifications right there in your bedroom. You will get employed. I know someone that just got employed by Microsoft from Nigeria. Why? Because he just got certifications, got IT certifications, right? So this particular set of visa, you need an employer to do that for you. Now, another thing I'll just add here, although it's not strictly immigration, is that Nigeria, we have a like, will I call it an attitude to have 3, 4, 5 page resumes. American resumes are 2 pages max. 2 pages max. Nobody wants to see 10 pages of resume. So if you want to apply to American companies and you want the company to be able to file for you, please, I'll advise that you get your resume to American standard and it doesn't just contain jargon. Just like simple English to describe your experience and then just keep applying and by God's grace you will hit
Okay.
the dream job that you want. Now I'm going to talk about another that is called the J visa. This is like an exchange
What's
visitor
that?
visa.
I didn't get that, Tina.
J
Tina,
visa, J,
I didn't get that.
J visa, like
The
J for John.
J.
J visa,
Okay.
like J for John. Yeah. So this visa is a for different kind of people. Are you a professor? Are you a specialist? Whatever field that you're a trainer, it also applies to school students as well as those in university. Now, what this does is that you need to apply and be accepted into a visitor exchange program in the US. How do you do this? Go to this
Oh,
website,
okay.
j1visa.state/program. If the website is
Okay, Tina, can you slowly
j1visa.state/program.
spell it out? So can
So
you call the website again? Just
J,
slowly spell it out.
okay, J, and then one, not
Guys, I
not
hope you
O,
are taking it down. Oh. You know we don't. We are so J1. Okay, can you call?
j1.state/programs.
Okay.
One as the number one, not spelled out one. One as the
Okay.
number one, not ONE. J, then one, then visa, the state, the program. So when you go there, you see the different specialty programs, like the different things you can that can take advantage of the exchange visitor visa. Then basically almost anybody can take advantage of it. Then on that website, you're going to see by the corner of it, you will see find a sponsoring organization. Now, you click there, you will see organizations that are sponsoring to bring people in on their visitor exchange program. Yeah. So when you go there, you apply to any school or
Wow.
any organization that wants to do this thing. And then once you get accepted, you now have to pay a fee called the service fee. After you pay that fee, you go ahead and
Okay.
process your application. Now, there's a limit on this, there's a condition on this kind of visa. Once you use an exchange program, you can't adjust your status. What this means is that if you come into the US on an exchange program, they would require you to go back to your country for at least 2 years. If, number one, you are funded by the government, number two, you came into the US on a medical trip. So if you use the exchange visitor visa program to come into the US on like a medical training, they will require you to go back to your
Mm,
country for at least 2 years. And the third thing is that you are a
mm,
national of a country that has deemed certain skills as important to the development of that. Nigeria, for instance, is on this
mm.
list and is on the list of countries that have deemed certain skills as important to the development of Nigeria. So if you go on an exchange visitor program visa, you
Mm.
might have to return back to Nigeria for at least 2 years, then you come back again,
Oh,
right?
I
So
see.
that's because if you go on a visitor exchange visa and you say, okay, once you are in, you just want to japa from there, you might not
Yeah.
be able to adjust your status because you came in on a visitor exchange program. And if your skill, let's say you came here to do medicine, you came here to do law, you came here to do one of those things that Nigeria has itemized as the skills that they require to develop the country, they won't adjust status for you. So you cannot just come here and then just get married and say you want to japa from there. No, you might have to go back. But then I'm going to talk about yeah, I'm going to talk about F1 visa. Most of us know F1 visa, and literally F1 is like the surest way to get out of the country right now. Like it's like the surest way to get out of the country right now. So F1 is for foreign nationals who are seeking to to um to to school in the US, right? So what the visa that you get is F1. So you just need to apply to a school here in the US. And once you're done with the application, what they give you a document called I-20. That I-20 will also be sent to the consulate in Nigeria, and one will be sent to you as well. And it's once you get that document, you can now apply for your visa to leave Nigeria. Now, the US somewhat differs from Canada because sometimes Canadian schools require you to pay um like a like a term's tuition or some kind of fee. But most schools in the US just require you to pay an application fee and just show proof that you can pay the school fees. Now, let me speak on law that I know specifically. To do a master's or any program in law, mostly a master's, let me just talk about the master's, it costs about 50 something thousand US dollars. So it means that when you're applying to school, let's say you want to do law, you need to show proof of funds for at least 50 something thousand dollars, which is like, I don't know, 30 million naira or something. I don't know. So you need to, what do you say?
So you don't have to pay the entire tuition
No, you
ahead.
don't have to pay.
You
You
just
just
have
need
to
to
show
show
proof
them.
of
Yes,
funds.
you just need to show proof of funds. Now, the proof of funds
Wow.
can come from anywhere. It can come from anybody. Like they don't require it to be family. Unlike Canada, really sometimes requires it to be your family, your husband, your mother, or your father. They have that kind of requirement. But for the US, they don't have that requirement. The proof of funds can come from anybody. You can get it from one uncle, you can get it from one friend. As long as they see money there and they see that this money is equivalent to their school fees, they will issue you your I-20, and then you come to the US on a visitors on a student visa. This right now is really the fastest way to leave Nigeria, any country that you want to that you are seeking to leave to come to the US. And the thing with F1 is that if you go into STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, you get 3 years work experience. But if you go into the arts, like law, you get like just 1 year opportunity to work after your program. Again, you can decide to do anything you want to do, but I really advise that if maybe you read one course, I don't know what that course could be, but you can do something like IT. I mean, that is the thing that is buzzing right now. It's buzzing right now. Do courses like maybe
Being a tech
CISA,
bro, a techist.
yes, CISA, C++, or whatever they call it, Security Plus, and take other certifications. And then
Mm.
maybe while you're schooling or after your program, just have those certifications because you will be just the hot cake almost immediately. Okay, if you're in the live on the live, can you type if you can hear me? Can you?
Sorry about that. I'm sure it was a network glitch. Yes, you can continue.
Okay, great. So that's that about the F visa. Now I'm going to talk about immigrant visas. Now the category of visas that are on a CR1 or IR1 visa. Yeah. Then the next visa in the
So Tina,
immigrant.
sorry, I think I lost you for a minute. So I don't know, could you just go back for a minute? I couldn't hear you. And I don't know, please, can you make a comment on the chat box if you can actually hear clearly, because on my own end it seems like it's dragging. So you sound faster. Okay. So I just want how to ensure that people that are following are able to hear you, properly so that it's not rushed. So I don't know, can you write yes, there's a network glitch. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, so Tina, can you just please repeat it slowly so that
Okay.
yes, okay, please just write in the comment box if you can hear. And all right, awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. It shows that you are following.
Okay. So the first one immigrant visa I talked about is IR1, CR1. It's for spouses of US citizens. So that's the foreign spouse, right? You married a foreigner, maybe outside the country, you can come into the US permanently on an IR1, CR1 visa. The foreign spouse.
I am so
Hey,
sorry.
can you
Yes,
please hear
network
me?
is really, really bad. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, we are back. We are back. I'm like, do you see one of the reasons why we have to leave this country?
because of these
Yeah.
issues. I'm pretty sure this problem did not come from Tina. Anyways, as we were saying, so what did we miss?
We missed the K3 visa. The K3 visa is for those
Okay,
who are married to US. And now, as a US citizen, you've put in a petition for your wife or your husband to bring that
okay.
spouse here to the United States. Now, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, you're just waiting. You've not heard anything. So the K3 visa is meant to shorten the wait time between the approval of the petition and the time you can be with your wife. So if you keep waiting for the government, the USCIS to approve that petition, you can probably wait for about 9 months, 12 months, 1 year, 2 years because of backlogs. But with K3 is intended to bridge that gap. K3 is saying that, okay, I have a petition for my wife, but I can't keep waiting forever to see my wife or my husband. K3 is saying you can come into the US to meet with your spouse and be with the love of your life while you wait for your application to get approved. So that's K3 visa. Then the other one is K1 visa for fiancés of US citizens. Now, how many of us can remember this show, this 90 Days Fiancé show where Michael and
90-day
Angela,
fiance.
yes, there's this show that had
Yes,
one Nigerian Michael and one white lady Angela that was like 60 something years, 90 Day Fiancé, right? So most of
yes.
those guys in that program, they come in with K1 visa. So a US citizen is engaged to a foreigner, right? So the US will give you a K1 visa to come into the US to marry that spouse. But once you get into the US, you must get married within 90 days of arriving in the US. That's the condition. If you don't get married within 90 days of arriving in the US, you have to leave, right? So that's the K1 visa. These are immigrant visas that I just explained. So yes, that's all about visas. Please don't forget to type your questions. We are going to take at least 1 or 2 questions after the live. Rosemont, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. In fact, I'm reading through the comments and it's so funny. The moment you mentioned getting married to a foreign national, I saw somebody celebrating. I know that you mentioned that you're going to be talking about the pros and cons of each. So we'd also want you to throw light on that, right? And
Yes, ma'am.
please, for those of you that are just joining in, a website address was actually stated by her, so you can always, so I know you repeat it after, but because of time we'll have to move. So from what you said, there are different categories of visas for those who are doing immigrant and non-immigrant status, right? Those who are
Yes.
coming in through school, those who are coming in as certified professionals, those who are coming in from STEM, those people who are coming in from a technical point of view, those people who are coming in whether they are engaged to a fiance who is a US national or a foreigner, those who are coming to relocate their spouses. Each of these different visa categories come with its different requirements, timelines,
Yes.
expectations, things that you are meant to comply with, right? So far I just wanted to know that I've gotten what you said. All right, guys, I hope it's interesting so far. Please drop in the comments if you understand, because this is essentially to ensure that you have all the information that you need. All right, Tina, thank you so much for sharing this. So I understand so far, so you can continue. I don't want to break your flow of thought.
Okay, so right now I've basically given us like ideas on the different kind of visa used to migrate to the US. I've talked to us about the surest one, which is F1 right now, as B1, B2 is limited. I also talked about some types of employment visas, and then I talked about immigrant visas. K1 for fiancés of US citizens, and they come into the US, must get married within 90 days. K3 is for spouses of US citizens who have a petition before USCIS, which is the I-130. That's the petition, but they've been waiting so long for the USCIS to approve this petition, and so K3 visa allows them to come and join their spouse while they are waiting for the determination of this petition. That's what K3 visa does. So right now I'm going to be talking about settling in the US. How do I obtain green card? Now, many of us are aware that the number one way, like the fastest way, is through marriage to a US citizen. I wish it's as easy as it sounds. Yes, I'll just marry a US citizen and oh, I have green card. It's as easy as that. You can just get married and you may get green card. But I've had clients and their problems has been fantastic, to say the least. Very fantastic set of problems. You would just think that, oh, is it not this marriage that we're talking about? No. First of all, the USCIS must be able to see genuinity or genuineness or genuinity in the marriage, right? It's not as easy as, oh, you just get married, pick somebody off the street, just get married and then file. No. I have a client, she got married to this guy. They lived together. Now, whether this marriage is for real or however, I don't know. They lived together. And the USCIS visited them, right, after their interview. So they had gone for interview and they were visited. Now, the first thing they noted was when they knocked on her door and they notified themselves as USCIS, she just told them that she just woke up from sleep, that they should give her some time. Meanwhile, the supposed husband had gone out. So she was confused and everything, tried to just put things together. She told them, give me some time to change. And then when she came back to open the door, she was still wearing the same dress. After telling them, give me some time to change. Okay, the next thing they noted was that she has a refrigerator in her room. And the question they ask is, why do you have a refrigerator in your own room? Why is your refrigerator not in the kitchen? She gave one kind of excuse. They also said, okay, show us your husband's important documents. She could not really find it, like walls, that kind of thing. Okay, show us some of his personal belongings and all that. And then the next thing they said was, if you guys are truly married, why don't we see any of your clothes in this wardrobe? All her clothes were in another room where she stays with her son, but the guy's wardrobe didn't really have anything of her clothes, maybe like one or two, right? Now, they live together, right? At least they live in the same house, 2 rooms, but USCIS drew a conclusion that this is a marriage of convenience, that even if they live together, they do not share their lives. And their green card application was denied. Now, so you need to know that you cannot just, marry. There needs to be genuineness. Like, however you are doing your marriage, have pictures of you guys, live together, know the person. Even when you go for your interview, they're going to ask questions like, how many windows are in your bedroom? They can probably ask because most times they separate the couples, right? And they can ask the man or the woman, what color of underwear did your wife wear this morning or something. Point is that if you saw her this morning, you should know the color of underwear she wore, right? Sometimes you guys can arrange these answers, right? But the most important thing is that your answers must match, right? They can ask how many windows you have in your bedroom. Wife says 4, husband says 3. Are you people not living in that house? How don't you know the number of bedrooms, number of windows you have? So these are some of the kind of questions they will ask to test the genuineness of your marriage, right? So that's just one way you can get green card. You can also get green card through political asylum. Political asylum is like saying that, I'm being persecuted in my country because of my race, my religion, my beliefs, or maybe I'm gay. Not me, the person is gay, and so they want to get political asylum, right? So now this is the deal. We had a client one time. This guy came in 2010 and he claimed to be gay, right? And he was granted asylum. 1 year into the US, he's raping girls. How are you gay and committing crimes of rape? Right? If you are gay, why not stay consistent with the thing you said, right? Why are you having girlfriends? So, bottom line is that his asylum got terminated. The USCIS terminated his asylum because they knew that the gay story was just a story of convenience, and he was not really gay. Right, because he had a girlfriend and they had issues, and she reported to the police that he raped her and did a number of other things to her and all that stuff. And so that's how his asylum was terminated, right? And then we tried to apply for something called Convention Against Torture. So basically, we are just saying that, see, yes, you've terminated his asylum, but if this guy goes to Nigeria, because he's gay, they are going to beat him, they will kill him, they will this, they will that. We tried to present the best case possible for this guy, but he was still denied because the judge didn't believe that he's gay, and so that was how his own case went. So if you're claiming political asylum and you just need to stay consistent with your story, you need to know what you are saying because you're going to be interviewed, you're going to appear before a judge who will scrutinize your claims, right? So somebody like
so if I can step in here, you would say an example of that asylum was something that happened to DJ Switch, right?
Exactly, exactly,
I
exactly. So
see,
because
I
she,
see,
she
I see.
I mean, that if she's in the US, I don't know where she is, but I know that
Yeah.
I'd seen a video of her one time with Peter or Paul's wife, one of them, the twins, the Okoyes,
Mm,
right? I'd seen the video, and I know that that one is in the US for sure. So if she's in the US,
mm.
she must have been granted political asylum because of what she showed the world on October
Experience
20th.
during the EndSARS
So
protest,
because of so
yes.
her life was under risk and under threat, and so she must have been granted political asylum to be able to stay in the US
Awesome.
and
Okay, all
have
right. So
so
before
that's
we
that about
move to the next one, I think there is a question, and I want us to, because it's still within the category of what we are talking about. It's from one of our amazing viewers, and he says this. He says, "I'm working on immigration to Texas as a medical professional, but I want a career change, especially into IT. What sector of
mm-hmm.
IT do you think is best to venture into?" So guys, please keep sending in your questions. We'll be answering them as the session goes on because of time. All right, so what would you say is your answer to that?
Okay, so I mean, there's so many branches of IT. I think there's project management, there's solutions architect, there is I really don't know. I'm not an IT person, right? But at least I have some idea. I just know that you can take certifications like Security Plus, CISA. There's one they call CISM. There's one they call CISSP or something like that. Just take these certifications, right? And once you take these certifications, you're going to be able to land a job with Google or Microsoft or Twitter or one of those tech companies. You can get a job with them. You just need to accumulate or get your IT certification. Now, as a doctor, there might be an option for you. You don't necessarily have to switch to tech if that might be too much work for you. There's something called a national interest waiver, which I plan to address
Mm,
later. You brought me there now. I may as well just address it now. National interest waiver basically is saying that you have a particular set of skills that is of benefit to the United States. So by reason of these skills, the government should waive the employer requirement and the labor certification requirement. What this means is that for you to be, this category of visa is called NIW is under a category called EB2. EB2 is employment-based visas. So NIW for employment-based visas, you need an employer to petition for you, and that employer need to file something called a labor certification. Now, national interest waiver, we're basically saying that because of the skills I have, waive the employer requirement and the labor certification. So as a doctor,
mm,
you can take advantage of that, but you must have some kind of advanced degree or you must be
mm,
exceptional in your field. Let's say you divided Siamese twins like Ben Carson, or you've done something very great in the
mm,
medical field, or you are doing something great, or you have exceptional abilities there, or you have a PhD or a master's in medicine, you can take advantage of NIW. This means that you can petition yourself. You don't need an employer to do it for you. An employer doesn't have to come in. There doesn't have to be labor certification. That's why it's called a waiver. What the government waives is the requirement for an employer to do this for you and for a labor certification to be filed. So that's what is waived.
mm,
But you're basically telling them that what I have is of interest to the government. It will add value and it will
okay.
it will basically of interest to the to as in basically of interest to the government and the economy and something like that. So that's what a national interest waiver is. And I know a lot of doctors take advantage of NIW. A lot of doctors take advantage of that. So you, the doctor that asks this question, you can take advantage of NIW if you have a master's degree or a PhD degree in medicine, or you have some kind of exceptional ability or some exceptional skills in medicine that you have done. And as long as you're able to show sufficient proof, you can file you can present an application of NIW, which is a national interest waiver. Basically, you are telling the USCIS waive employer requirements. That means an employer doesn't have to petition for me. I can do it myself, and you will give me this. You will give me the approval I want to work and live in the US. That's what NIW means. There's also
Awesome.
a category of called
Awesome.
EB1. EB1 is for people with exceptional abilities. I've talked about this before. Remember when I talked about the O visa? That requires an employer to petition for you, that a US employer has to really want to file the O visa for you. But for EB1, if you have exceptional abilities, like you are really good, you are known whether nationally or internationally, you've received awards. You can petition yourself because of this exceptional ability that you have. You can bring an application to the USCIS and say, these are the skills I have. I'm exceptionally good at this thing. Give me work authorization to live and work in the US. And they will give you if you have sufficient proof. Every other employment category requires an employer to petition for you. But for EB1, the employer, the exceptional ability, you don't need an employer. So I mean, who can I give right now? Again, I can only call names I know. People like Whiskey, people like maybe Davido. These people are known internationally and nationally, right? And then they've received awards, right? So I mean, these are entertainers. There are other people in business, in athletics, like Choma Ajunwa, or some other, whatever field it is. As long as you're nationally or internationally acclaimed, you can bring an EB1 petition by yourself. You don't need an employer. You don't need to get a job to be able to get that. You can bring that petition by yourself, and then if you have sufficient documentation, you'll be approved. Another
awesome, thank you. So let's can we just can I just point, so we have 15 minutes more. I'm really enjoying this session. I feel like we need to come back again, but we have like 2 very short questions, because I know that you have not even scratched the surface of what you are going to talk about. Okay, all right, awesome. So just finish so that we can just take the questions, and I'll keep pinning.
Okay, so the last thing I'll maybe second to the last, I'd like to talk about is EB4. EB4 is for religious workers, or we have a lot of new generation churches right now, and like they have massive following abroad, like in the US. I would just mention one, like maybe NSPPD, for instance, right now has massive following in the US, massive. A lot of people connect to NSPPD. Now, if NSPPD wants to fully established in the US, they can do it through an EB4 visa, right? So basically, register a non-profit as a non-profit in the US. And before you can file the application, you must have been working at least 2 years in that capacity. Let's say you're a pastor in NSPPD, for instance. You must have been a pastor for 2 years. And then the church as a whole will bring, and let's say they want to now send you abroad to America to come and handle one of the churches here. So you must have been a pastor in that church for at least 2 years, or even if you're not a pastor, maybe some kind of worker, as long as it's a religious organization, for at least 2 years, then they can bring an EB4 application for you, and for you to come and continue pastoring or doing whatever it is you do already in the US, and that's it. You just need to show proof of exemption from tax, like non-profits, tax exemption, and just 1 or 2 other things, and then you file the petition, and most likely will be approved if you have the right documentation. That's for religious workers. It doesn't apply to only pastors, even those who work for churches, right? If you work for a church and they want to send you to the US, as long as you've been at least 2 years in that church and you will continue doing what you do for that church, you can come under EB4. That's that. Then the last one is investment visa. So that's EB5. Basically, if you have like $500,000 to invest in this economy, you can get a green card. If you have at least $500,000, you can get a green card through EB5.
Wow.
Wow. And so, in a nutshell, that's like the employment parts you have to take. For most of the employment parts, an employer will have to petition for you. But for NIW, you need an advanced degree or you have exceptional ability, you can do that yourself. For EB1, if you have exceptional skills and you are nationally and internationally recognized for that skill that you possess, you can petition yourself. You can do it yourself and tell them that I have exceptional ability in this thing, and I want to come work and continue in this thing in the US. And then for the how to get it through immigration, through like married to a US citizen, political asylum. There's also adoption. I'm not going to go too much into that. That's for kids under the age of 16 and all that stuff.
Yeah, we even have a question on that, Self. We even have a question on that. Okay, so thank you so much. Like, this is really insightful.
$500K US dollar for visa. I mean, that's up to you. As long as you can, you have to invest it in this economy. So if you and the way it works is that they're like there are agencies that have structures, or they have like business organizations that you can invest into, right? So if you invest 500K into this structure, they will put in that application for you, right? And so, and because you invest some of them, because you invest like 500K, you will have like some slots to employ people, right? There's one I know that will give at least 17 slots. Because of the 500K you invested, you will have 17 slots to employ at least 17 people to be employees of that company because of your investment. Yeah, so that's it.
Awesome question. Thank you for answering that right on the bat. We have Mr. Right So who said, asking for a friend, what are the disadvantages or the cons for the K1 visa if things go south?
Well, if things go south, the K1 is the fiance visa, right? If things go
Yes.
south, and if you don't marry the person within 90 days, technically, you should go back to your country. You should go
Mm.
back. We know that a lot of people don't go back, right? So, yeah. So you might be able to adjust from there. Like, let's say you find somebody else. Yeah, you can be able to, you might be able to adjust from there. I probably would need to look that up. But
Mm.
naturally, by law, the way it's set up, if you don't marry the person within 90 days of coming to the US, you must return to your country.
Wow. Okay, thank you for answering that question. I'm sure if you have any additional questions, the law offices of Tina Oba is a DM away. You can send your questions and all that. All right, we have one last question. Somebody asked if the recording of this will be available. Yes, this is actually being recorded. So after this session, you'll be able to get the live session both on the law offices of Tina Oba's IG page and my IG page as well. Last question before we now move to the last part. She says, can I petition for a child under 16 that I am in the process of adopting? So I know you touched briefly on that, but you may not. So she can, of course, come and meet you. But do you have anything to say in relation to that last question?
Yes, so on adoption, for instance, there are two requirements for adoption. There's the custody and there's legal custody and residency requirement, number one, but there's the
Mm.
orphan requirement. Now, to adopt a child, you must be a US citizen. You're not a permanent resident, you must be a US citizen. Now, and the child must be under 16. And there are two ways to bring that child: through the I-130 process, which requires a legal custody and residency requirement. This means that you must have been in custody of that child for at least 2 years and resided with that child for at least 2 years. Now, a
Mm.
lot of US citizens, because they are here in the US, are not able to meet that category. Then there's an orphan requirement, right? This is the part a lot of them take. The orphan requirements is saying that this child is an orphan, meaning that both parents are dead, or one has disappeared or separated, or the parents of the child are lost. You can't find them. The child does not have parents, so they are both dead or disappeared. The second meaning of an infant is that one parent is dead and the sole surviving parent is unable to care for that child. Yeah. So once you can prove that the child is an orphan, either that the parents have disappeared, or he has one parent, but that one parent is unable to care for that child and all that, then you can bring in the child as an orphan and all that, or you adopt the child. The other way is to adopt the child here in Nigeria. The adoption process here is quite difficult and stringent. So it might be good to adopt the child in Nigeria and bring the child under the orphan process. I'll just say that, oh, the child's what parent is dead, or both
Oh, I
parents are
see.
dead. If you come through I-130, which has the custody and residency requirement, if you've lived with that child for 2 years, you supported the child, paid school fees, done all manner of things, and the child is under 16, you can bring the child as your
Mm.
alien, because
Mm.
you've already done the adoption, and you can bring the child under that process.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Is citizenship by birth still available? Yes.
Yes,
Yes. So
of course,
come here,
definitely.
have your child, that child is a citizen.
I hear a lot of stories about people who maybe are in mid-term pregnancy and they travel on a particular visa category. I just want to just shortly, I think this is going to be the final question. Oh, thank you very much. Says thank you for your job. Well done. We're so grateful. Thank you. So if I'm maybe mid-term what are the chances, or what visa category should I actually apply for? Because a lot of people, they just think that, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm going to give birth in the US. How easy is it in reality, right? Can you throw some light on that?
Well, in reality, I don't know that it's very easy because I mean, if you can conceal that pregnancy, because you don't want them to know you're pregnant, because they know that you want to give this child citizenship of their country. So if you can
True.
conceal that pregnancy, all well and good. Like,
Mm,
because if they see you're pregnant and they see that, oh, you want to go and give birth, the chances that you get a visa is almost zero, right?
mm.
So, yeah. So
Okay.
like I mean that's it. But you may be lucky if you already had a visa before you got pregnant, then you can just enter a plane and go. But if you are pregnant and your pregnancy is already clearly visible even to a blind man, and then you say you want to go to the embassy to get a visa to come, I don't know about that. You might
Mm,
get it, of course. With faith you can get anything. But let's talking logically, I don't know.
most of the time. Okay, so final, right? We have, I feel like asking so many questions. We have 5 minutes to go. So
Mhm.
in your opinion, so someone is asking your opinion, advice on the best and easiest way. That's what this entire webinar, this entire session is about. But best and
I
easiest way
already
to
talked about
go
that.
to the US.
That
Yes.
the easiest way right now to leave the country will be on a student visa. Except
Mm,
you get a job with a US company and then they want to petition for you, that's fine. But the easiest way will be on the student visa because they're very limited in giving B1 or B2, except the
yes.
situation is an emergency situation that involves
Mm,
health, right?
mm,
The health of the. But the easiest way right now is to come on a student visa, right?
same.
That's
Okay. And I think
that's
if you are like that religious organization, it sounds so very nice to me because a
you're
lot of
part of
people
it.
serve in ministries, NGOs, and of course, if you
Yes.
can prove yourself of value and there's international recognition of those
Yeah.
organizations, you can come under that. And I'm aware
Even
that
if
I
there's
don't know,
national recognition of that,
of
as
course,
long as being you register as a non-profit in the US and you've been operating in that capacity for at least 2 years prior to
mm,
when you file, then you're good. You might be able to get E before.
all right, awesome, fantastic. So someone says when a child is born in the US and a citizen, will the parents acquire citizenship by the child? I don't know if it works that way.
Yes,
Citizenship
parents
is
parents can get citizenship from the child, but only when the child turns 18. 18
mm,
or 21. I can't exactly remember the exact age, but the child has to be an adult. And then the child
mm,
becomes an adult and the child files for his parents. But you don't derive citizenship just from the toddler or the baby you have in your hand.
of
No.
course, of course. Do you have to have lived in the US for that long till the child becomes an adult?
Well, it means that if you're staying in the US that long, you are staying here illegally, except you're finding other ways to regularize your stay.
All right.
If
Okay.
you're finding, I can't see you again. If you're finding other ways
Yes.
to regularize, then fine. But if you're just going to stay for that 18 years and just not do anything, just wait for your child, then yeah, you just see that yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Sina. It's been an amazing 1 hour with you. You've opened our eyes to see so many opportunities available. So, guys, if you're on this call and you have lasted to this long, I have very good news for you. So you can reach out to the law offices of Tina Oba if you have more questions. And please, there's a special code. If you are coming through this
Yes,
webinar, you are coming
someone,
to this live.
my friend and lawyer as well just told me that the age is 21. So the child
Okay.
has to be 21 years to be able to file for the parent.
Yes, okay, wow. Thank you for answering. So please, if you have more inquiries, you are ready. I can see a lot of us are asking very, very specific questions, and that shows that yes, you are in this situation or you are having considerations. So please just say, oh, I attended the live session that you hosted on this social time. Please, I would love to know. Just tell Tina you're going to, and she will take care of you. All right. So without further
Okay,
ado, okay, do you have any last words to say before we go?
yes, just you can visit my website www.lawofficesoftinaaoba.com. You can schedule your consultations, usually 1 hour, and then we will talk about everything, all the questions you have, and then we'll address your questions and do our best to help you. Now, if you attended this live and you want Law Offices of Tina Oba to carry out a service for you or do some petition or file a process for you. Now, Rosemond is going to give you a code, and with that code, you're going to get a discount. You're getting that discount because you participated in this live session. And so we are going to give you a discount because you did that.
Awesome.
Right? Yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So what's the website again? www.lawoffices of Tina Oba. So Oba is spelled OBAH.com. Yes, so please guys put it down, www.lawofficesoftinaoba.com. You will see an option there for you to schedule a consultation, and then just state there in the comments that you came through me, and of course you get a discount. Thank you so much for being here. We truly don't take your time for granted. I'm sure right now I think it's 11 a.m. or something. Thank you so much.
Very concluding words. See,
yes,
I have a lot of Nigerians who divorce their spouses in Nigeria and then come to the US to get married. Please, by all means, if you're going to do that, make sure you divorce through the proper channels. Don't go to one roadside person to give you a paper and just tell you, then go take them, I've done this for 50 people, and the USCIS is improving their processes every day, and they verify these documents. I currently have 2 clients right now who give fake divorce documents to the USCIS, and we are trying to see how to rectify this problem. Please stop going to roadside people to do your processes for you. It will cost you more to rectify your problem than it will cost you to engage a lawyer in the first place. Please, I've heard strange things. Very strange things. So, and it will cost you more to solve this problem. And most times you will find yourself getting deported. So divorce through the proper channels, right? Have divorce legally, and then you can now get married. And then for those of you who give agents your application to fill, these people that do US whatever, and then maybe you're single, and then just tell you that if you feel you're married, you will get visas faster because they see you're married. Now you must remember what you said when you filled your application, because if you totally forgot that you said you are married, and then you come here, you marry a US citizen, you can't get green card. Why? Because a marriage is already existing, and that's bigamy. You cannot marry when a prior marriage is already existing. That has to be terminated first. I currently have a client in this situation right now. He married his wife, a US citizen. When he was coming, he claimed to be married. Now, they had approved his green card, but they later realized, they sent him a message that they're going to deny it unless he explains that his former marriage.
Wow.
So these are the issues. Remember to keep your story straight. Remember that if you're giving an agent your application to fill out, know what they're filling in. Don't just give somebody your life and just go and sit down. Know what they are doing, please. Because these people, they just do anything, collect your money, and zap away. You are yet to face with it. You are yet to be with the problem. So please use lawyers.
Thank you.
Lawyers, please.
Thank you very much. We are so out of time, like we already skipped our 1 hour. So before Instagram chases us away. But thank you guys so much for coming. I'm sure this was very, very insightful to you. This IG Live will be available immediately after this call drops. Thank you, Tina, for being here. We are so grateful to you, the law offices of Tina Oba, for coming up on this program. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having more sessions with you. Please go to our website, www.lawofficesoftinaoba.com. Schedule your consultation. Tell them you are from me. Get your discounts, and let's get you up and out into the US. Thank you so much, and have an amazing time, everyone. Goodbye. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.